Do you want to know what really happens when you suddenly stop contacting someone? Let's say you are dating someone and they never seem to take the next step. You are always the one to start things and keep the conversation going. Or you have feelings for someone, but they decide to send you mixed signals, leaving you confused about what they really want. It can be hard to know what to do in such situations. But what if I told you that you can flip the script, take control of the situation, and actually make them want you more by deliberately deciding to stop contacting them? Well, if you learn and apply what we are going to share in this video, this is exactly what can happen. Let's start. The psychology behind no contact. Before we get to the actual points of no contact, it's important to understand the psychology behind why it works. It all comes down to one simple concept: scarcity. When something becomes scarce or harder to come by, human beings instinctively value and appreciate that thing more. This is particularly true when it comes to relationships. If someone seems too available or clingy, they become less attractive to the other person. This is why no contact works so well. By suddenly stopping all communication with someone, you make them think that you have moved on or are uninterested in them, which creates a sense of scarcity and thus makes them value you more. And if you ask, is it a form of psychological manipulation? Yes, it can be, but that doesn't mean that you will use it in a malicious way. It just means that you are taking charge of the situation and making sure that your feelings and needs matter. With that said, here's what happens when you stop contacting someone. Number 1. They will be confused. Imagine this: you are used to hearing from someone almost every day, and then one day they just stop all communication. You will be left feeling confused and frustrated, right? That's exactly what happens when you stop contacting someone. It leaves them in a state of limbo, unsure of what's going on or why things have changed. This confusion can work in your favor because it will make them wonder why you suddenly stopped talking to them, and this will make them more active in trying to find out the reason behind your no contact. For example, if you are always the one to initiate contact, they may think, well, he or she will contact me eventually, so I'll just wait for a bit. But when they don't hear from you for a long period of time, they may become more active in trying to make contact and find out what's going on. Number 2. It changes how you're viewed. Implementing a no-contact rule can significantly change how you're perceived by the other person. When you're always available and quick to respond, it can sometimes lead to being taken for granted. You might be seen as someone who's always there no matter how they treat you. This can inadvertently lower your perceived value in their eyes. When you initiate a no-contact period, it introduces an element of surprise and disrupts the status quo. They no longer have the comfort of your constant availability and predictability. This can lead them to view you as someone who values their time and emotional investment, increasing your perceived worth. It's also a demonstration of self-respect and personal boundaries. You show that you're not afraid to step back and prioritize your own well-being, which can make you more attractive in their eyes. It sends a powerful message. You are a person who knows their worth and won't settle for less than what you deserve. Number 3. It will create deep mystery and curiosity. When you're in constant contact with someone, they have a pretty good idea of what's happening in your life. They know your routine, your thoughts, your feelings, and they can predict your actions. There's little room for mystery because they have a wealth of information about you. When you suddenly stop contacting them, this flow of information halts. They no longer have a window into your world. This absence of information creates a kind of vacuum, and humans, by nature, abhor a vacuum. The mind begins to fill this empty space with questions. What are they doing? Why haven't they reached out? Are they okay? Are they thinking about me? Are they seeing someone else? This state of not knowing can be quite powerful in terms of generating curiosity and interest. The other person may find themselves thinking about you more often simply because they're trying to figure out what's happening in your life. Number 4. They will start missing you. This is due to a psychological phenomenon called reactance, which essentially means that people want what they can't have. When you're readily available, they may take your presence for granted, but when you're suddenly absent, they might start to appreciate the value you brought into their lives. They may begin to recall the good times and experiences you shared together, and this can lead to feelings of nostalgia and longing. Humans are naturally wired to avoid loss and will often idealize past experiences when faced with the prospect of never experiencing them again. Additionally, people tend to fill silences with their own narratives. If you're not in contact, they have no way of knowing what you're up to, which can lead to speculation and curiosity. Number 5. They will no longer take you for granted. When you're always available, always initiating contact, and always making an effort, it's easy for the other person to become complacent. They might start to take your efforts and presence for granted because they've become accustomed to you always being there. However, when you suddenly remove your presence from their life, it can act as a wake-up call. They are suddenly confronted with your absence and the gap it leaves in their life. This can lead them to reflect on your value and appreciate the contributions you are making to their life, which they may not have fully realized when you were always there. They might also begin to understand that your presence in their life is not guaranteed, which can result in them treating you with more respect and consideration. Number 6. The fear of losing you. This fear is related to a psychological concept known as loss aversion, which suggests that people are more motivated to avoid loss than to acquire equivalent gains. In the context of relationships, this means that the fear of losing you may be a stronger motivator for the person to change or rethink their actions than the prospect of gaining something new. Before the no-contact period, if you were always available and always willing to give them your time and energy, they may have felt secure that you weren't going anywhere. But once you break off contact, that security is shattered. The possibility of losing you becomes real, which can stir up a range of emotions, including fear. This fear can make them reflect on their behavior, the way they treated you, and the value you added to their life. They may become more motivated to change their behavior and put more effort into the relationship. Number 7. They will crave you more than before. This is due to a combination of psychological phenomena at work. Firstly, the principle of scarcity comes into play here. We generally tend to want what we can't have or what is scarce. The less available you are, the more valuable you appear, and hence, the more they may desire your presence. Secondly, when you stop contacting someone, it interrupts their established patterns and routines. If they were used to hearing from you daily, your sudden silence might leave a void. This can lead them to miss your conversations, your company, and the role you played in their life, causing them to crave those experiences. The absence of information about you also heightens their curiosity about what you're doing, who you're with, and how you're feeling. This curiosity and mystery can intensify their desire to reconnect with you. Number 8. It's a powerful tool for your personal growth. Implementing a period of no contact is a powerful tool for personal growth and self-discovery, perhaps even more so than its potential effects on the other person. Here's what you will gain: self-reflection, emotional healing, regaining self-esteem, building emotional resilience, fostering independence. As you can see, the list of benefits is extensive and is not only about the other person. And this leads to our last talking point. Number 9, your relationship will be better than ever. The ultimate goal of the no-contact rule is to improve your relationship with the other person. When both of you are emotionally available and ready, you can come together for a stronger version of your relationship than ever before. Let's say you have followed the no-contact rule and both of you and the other person have grown emotionally. When you finally do reconnect, it will be more meaningful as you are both in a better place. You can talk with open heart and mind, discuss what went wrong before, and always work towards rebuilding a healthier relationship. However, if you have applied the no-contact rule and still feel it's not working, then it's time to move on and find someone who's better for you. At the end of the day, what matters most is that you put your own well-being first and take the steps necessary to protect yourself. The right person will come along at the right time. If you have made it this far, comment down below with the word 100% to confirm that you have received the knowledge from this video. For more interesting topics, make sure to watch the recommended video that you see on the screen right now. Thanks for watching.